Welcome to the Unconventional Mumpire, a podcast for mothers doing life and business their own way. Here we talk slow living, real motherhood, meaningful work, and the quiet courage it takes to choose a different path. No hustle glorification, no perfection, just honest conversations, lived experience, and space to breathe. I'm Rannee, a wife, a homeschool mum, and the woman behind Customize Co. I run a heart-led business from rural Australia, supporting women in business while choosing a life that honours family, health, and a gentler pace. This podcast is an extension of that same philosophy. Real reflective conversations for mothers who know there's more than one way to live, work, and thrive. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Unconventional Mumpire. In today's conversation, we're diving into what business looks like when homeschooling children and running a VA business from my own personal lens. I've recently been lucky enough to connect with some other homeschool mums looking to pursue a VA career, and I am totally here to share what works for me. No gatekeeping. This isn't a how-to. It's not advice you have to follow, and it's definitely not a formula. It's simply our lived experience shared honestly with the hope that it helps you reflect on what your version of balance, flexibility, and sustainability might look like. There are no hard and fast rules here. So what do our days look like? Our days begin slowly. I personally start with a bit of self-care in the morning. Then we have breakfast together. We do our chores. We feed the animals, water some plants, we tidy up, and we get ourselves ready for the day. There's no rush to be anywhere by a certain time. We move through the morning together, and then eventually we head outside and begin our day. Learning, work, life. Homeschooling has taught me that productivity doesn't need urgency, and running a business from home has reinforced that. A calm start creates a calm flow, not just for our children, but for us as business owners too. You can't be calm when your nervous system is fried. Not everyone understands the homeschool lifestyle, and that's okay. There's often an assumption that homeschoolers just stay home all day, isolated from the world. But the reality honestly couldn't be further from that. Homeschooling gives us flexibility to choose how we live our days. Most days include meetups, activities, learning experiences outside the home. We're not hiding away, we're living life in the real world, but we do it together. And for me, that same flexibility had to be reflected in my business. The first thing I need you to do is discover your availability. If you're thinking about offering services, one of the first things I highly recommend is writing down your current schedule with honesty. And I mean everything. Your homeschool time, shopping, self-care or gym routine, your own downtime, family time, travel to and from events, and life admin. So often we overestimate what we can give because we don't account for the life we're already living. A business that ignores your real life will eventually demand way more than it should. So be realistic about your availability. Just because your calendar shows 20 hours of availability, it doesn't mean you can realistically book yourself for 20 hours. I would encourage, when you're starting, to halve that, even quarter it, because we need to allow for space, flexibility, and downtime. The flexibility is often the very thing we love most about working this way, and in my opinion, totally worth protecting. Allow yourself grace. And what I mean by that, nicely, is lower your expectations. This is a big one, and it's not always an easy one, but allow yourself grace. If your day doesn't go to plan, that's okay. If you didn't complete a task that you intended to, that's okay too. We're not surgeons. We're not here dealing with life-threatening situations. Most things can wait. Take a breath, think outside the square, add it to tomorrow's list, or revisit it later when you have a minute. Giving yourself grace helps you move forward without burning out. And for me, it's a super important piece of my day. Time outside is important. Allow yourself to start your day being outdoors. Just because we work from home, it doesn't mean we should stay indoors all day. Just because we homeschool doesn't mean we stay inside all day. Sunshine, fresh air, and time outside does wonders for our bodies and our minds. Sometimes stepping outside is the reset that your nervous system and your business needs. Creating a business that aligns with you and your goals. When you're starting your VA journey, it's important to look past the sales pitches. Pitches with a P. There are some wild cowgirls out there. Big promises, unrealistic claims, and pressure-driven messaging. What I did is I went back to my values. What matters to you? What do you want your days to feel like? And ask yourself, do these people practice what they preach? Do they seem genuine? Are they building a community or just selling a high-ticket offer for their own personal growth? Alignment matters more than hype. The blessing of running a business around your children. I know I'm deeply blessed to be able to work around my children, but I'm going to be really honest, and it hasn't been easy to get here. There was a time where I wanted to throw it all in, but I held on to the dream of being present as much as possible. I had to breathe life back into my business. The best thing about going back to my why and knowing I get to pause my day to chat with my kids, laugh when something truly funny happens, or the kids end up in stitches because something is so funny. I get to witness that. And not just with our 5-year-old that is discovering the world and everything is so amazing, but being physically present when my eldest daughter, who's 23, shares her uni results. We get to celebrate those distinctions in the moment together. We live our life together. And those moments are irreplaceable. Family is our center unit, and through this, I'm showing my children that there is another way to live and work. When we are unwell, which ironically is not really often, and I say this as the flu tears through the house at the moment, but I get to slow down my day and care for them without the guilt, without feeling like someone else is carrying my workload. That guilt that I had carried when I was in the corporate world. shifting a mindset to be business women and not an employee takes time. As business women, we don't seek permission to take time off, but we do take responsibility for our clients. We plan, we communicate, we consider how our absence may impact their business. Your professional development matters too. Also, everybody needs downtime. Networking has been one of the most powerful tools for me. Connecting with like-minded women, building friendships, and learning from others in similar seasons. As an introvert, the thought of networking is horrifying. I'm being honest. However, with the right group of women, they can really help you flourish. Now, office space or home ed space. Now, I know not everyone has this option, but I share an office space with my teens. We often head into the office together. They might come in and do some bookwork or some sewing or some other activity. And the benefit of that is I can pause my work if they need me. Sometimes when we're working, we chat, we listen to music, and we ponder life. During warmer months, we spend more time outdoors than what we do indoors. We lay out a picnic rug. I bring my laptop. The girls get to do an activity, whether that's art, reading, writing, math, whatever they're drawn to at that specific time. And we get to be outside in the fresh air, in the warmth, in the beautiful surrounds of birds chirping and all the good things that nature has to offer. Flexibility. Flexibility is one of the best parts of working this way. You can hit the day as hard or as slow as you need. You feeling overwhelmed? Go outside for 5 minutes. Feeling focused? Grab your laptop, head to your favorite spot, lean in, and you'll accomplish so many things. Sometimes simply changing our environment helps you work through that list with much more ease. You don't always have to be in an office or in an office-like environment. Setting expectations and boundaries for yourself and your children. Strong boundaries are important for everyone. For yourself, this could look like setting office hours, a sleep schedule on your phone. That's what I do. 8:15 every night, my phone is on sleep mode. A separate business and personal phone. Now, I personally don't. I do have a soft phone, which is an app. So if you want details on that, just reach out. For your kids, it might look like a morning rhythm, independent work time, and a walk before the work begins for the day. Boundaries don't remove the flexibility, it protects it. Cleaning. So, as homeschoolers, our homes are full of life and memories. Now, I don't love clutter. It really overwhelms me, but I've learned not to let housework consume my day either. We clean as we go, but in short, focused bursts. I did discover a US business called Clean Mama. So CLEANMAMA, Clean Mama. I don't have an affiliate code, but she has lots of freebies and even, oh gosh, some of you may laugh, but a downloadable calendar that you can use. She also has an interactive homekeeping planner. It's a digital yearly diary so I can add notes and tick off a list. We all know I just love ticking a list, right? But one thing I learned from Clean Mama is that setting a timer for 10 minutes and focusing on one small area helps. Get in, get it done, and get out. So I do that 3 times through the day, which is not hard. I do it at breakfast, I do it at lunch, and I do it at dinner. Larger jobs obviously wait for the weekends unless they're urgent. For me, it's not about perfection. It's about the calm. And clutter, it genuinely makes me feel overwhelmed. Sometimes we reach a point in our business where you need assistance. There comes a time where when you're doing everything alone no longer works. You may consider outsourcing. Sometimes subcontracting, having someone clean your bathrooms, a babysitter or a nanny for a few hours each week, maybe even lawn maintenance to free up the weekend, or a temporary meal service like Dinnerly or HelloFresh or the likes of those. I see it as this. My business has reached a point where I can financially bless someone else, and that feels really meaningful to me. The part-time versus full-time. There seems to be this assumption that becoming a VA means working full-time. But for me, that's simply not true. At this stage in my business, I have no desire to work full-time, especially with my health requiring intentional self-care. This is not something I have spoken about much with anyone, just a few close people. But in November 2024, I was diagnosed with a chronic progressive disease that requires serious self-care and management. But as my children grow and the seasons change, I will open more hours. For now, I'm content working with my current capacity that allows room to move when projects arise. So if you're exploring this option to become a VA, list your skills and don't discount motherhood. Planning, coordinating, juggling, problem solving, diffusing situations, the list goes on. But we carry so many transferable skills without even realizing it. So here are my tips. Build a business that fits your real life. Protect flexibility with space to grow. Choose alignment over hype. Honor each season. Lead with grace. Ask for support. Trust that slow, steady growth is achievable. There are no hard and fast rules, only intention and values, and choosing a way of working that supports the life that you're living now. Your business should serve your family and not pull you away from it. And however that looks for you, it's enough.